You think you do, but you don't.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode of The Journey. In our last episode, we completed Coldridge Valley, getting us to level 5. So, we are going to try and hit level 12 this video, and I'm going to give you guys the game plan. So, we're currently starting here in Dunmorrow, which is the starting zone for the dwarves and the gnomes. So, we're going to try and get to about level 7 here. After that, we're going to go down to Elwynn, do the quests, and we should get to about level 12. So the question that some of you may be asking is, well, why not just stay in Dunmorrow? Well, there's a couple of reasons. The first one being primarily, it's not my favorite starting zone for the Alliance. I much prefer leveling in Elwynn and I'm more familiar with it. And the leveling route that I'm going to be using to getting to level 30 involves going generally starting in Elwynn Forest, getting to about level 10 or 11, going to Dunmorrow. And I'm going to be taking that and twisting it just a bit because I usually don't play Gnome. So we're going to start in Dunmorrow, go to Elwynn Forest. After that, we should be able to get to about level 12 to 11. We're going to finish the elite quests like Hogger. Then we're going to double back to Dunmorrow to kill Vagash and do the couple of intro quests going into Loch Madan, and that should get us to about 12 or 13. Usually in regular classic, I would then go from Loch Madan to Menethil Harbor, crossing through the wetlands, taking the boat to Darkshore, and then doing the first couple of quests there and getting a high enough level to eventually go back. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Let's just get started on knocking out these first couple of levels and getting to level 12. So let's go. So we're going to pick up these first couple of quests and make our way over to Keranos to finish the first few quests, and that should hopefully get us to about level 7. So let's fast forward just a bit. So we've made it there. It's going to be our first quest handed in. All right, on to the next one. So we've just got all of our quests, so now let's get down and killing some mobs. See you in a bit. Alright, let's pick up some ammo for Rumble Shot. So after grinding away at some mobs, we just hit level 6. That's going to let us get the next level of our Fireball spell, which is going to make killing these mobs a lot easier. With that board dead, that's all our quests complete, so we can pick up our last item, head back to the inn, get the malt, and hand in all of our quests. Alright, so let's hand in this quest. That should get us level 7. And now we can make our way over to Elwynn Forest and finish up the human quests and hopefully get us to level 12. Alright, so we're at the Deep Run tram. We're going to wait for our train to get here so we can head on over to Stormwind. Mind the gaps. I remember when I first logged into Warcraft in 2006 and I hopped on the Deep Run tram. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. The one thing I've never been able to have in a video game since World of Warcraft in 2006, obviously it released in 2004, but I played for the first time in 2006, was the feeling of going to Ironforge, Stormwind, and just being immersed in this humongous world. So our plan when we get to Elwynn, we're going to finish up the Kobold quests, so getting the dust and the candles, making our way over to Billy, completing his quest in order to get the gold tooth necklace. Then we are going to go get the linen bandanas, get the bundles of wood, and that all of those quests all together should probably take us to about 10 or 11. Then we're going to do Princess, Hogger, and then make our way back to Dunmorrow in order to complete the last couple of quests before going to Loch Madan. So let's get it done. So something really cool that I like about the Turtle WoW server are these tents, which people with the survival profession can put up. And it basically lets you get, so if you look at my experience bar, really fast rested XP. So you stand under it for about 5-10 minutes, you're going to have at least like 2 bars worth of rested XP. So it's really nice. It helps a lot with questing, especially when you get to the later levels where you can run out of quests and zones. So we've made it over to the mine, so let's start killing some kobolds so we can get these quests done and get these levels done. So after killing a couple of kobolds and one death from me not paying attention, we're gonna get gold tooth so we can get that necklace and finish up our last quest. So just while we're killing gold tooth here, why did I not do a hardcore challenge? It's just personally, I don't find hardcore that fun. I play video games to relax. I don't really want to hyper focus and, avoid making any mistakes. And another big thing is you really miss out on that group aspect when you're playing hardcore. So in hardcore, you can't accept help from other players except for if you do a duo or a trio. So you have to do everything by yourself. And to me, an MMO is a social experience. So I want to join groups with people, get into parties, complete quests, and then waiting in lines to get quests done. Not really my cup of tea. If I would ever do a hardcore character, I'd probably do a hardcore Iron Man on RuneScape, uh, just because that would be something that would be interesting. Potentially, maybe streaming it in the future. But for right now, I just want to do a nice old fashioned 1 to 60 leveling. So after completing all those quests and handing in the gold tooth necklace, we have now gotten to level 9. So we have probably 2 more levels we'll be able to complete here, maybe 3 before we head back to Dunmoreau to complete the last couple of quests there. So let's get a move on. So we've made our way over to Eastvale Logging Camp, we've picked up the quests, and we've also picked up skinning for our first profession. So why skinning? So leveling in Classic can leave you a little bit gold starved for your mount at level 40. I know at Turtle WoW you can actually get a mount at level 20, just some of the additions that they've made in their Vanilla Plus server. But when I was leveling back in Classic launch in 2019, I would take skinning, and by the time I'd get to level 40, I usually would have no problems affording a mount. Compared to back when I played in 2006, I didn't get my first mount until a couple of months into the Burning Crusade when I finally hit level 40 on my hunter. And even then, I was still pretty broke. So it took a couple levels after that in order for me to afford it. But, we know more about the game now. We know about saving money. But what we know kind of takes away a little bit from that magic. But picking up skinning gets you some nice free raw gold, raw copper, raw silver, and just helps out on the leveling process. All right, so we've made our way over to come kill Princess. So we're going to get to see my very elite princess killing strategy. Well, obviously, it's not mine. I didn't invent it. I saw people during Classic launch killing Princess this way. And I think this is a pretty popular way for people in hardcore to kill Princess, as you obviously can't group to get the quest done. So we'll get to see my real elite mage gameplay. So what you're relying on here basically is line of sighting and pathing the mobs. So you're jumping over that fence, which causes the boars to have to go all the way back around, whereas a ranged class, you can either just keep hitting them with spells or you get the wand. I was having a little bit of trouble because my mage is short as I'm playing a gnome, but I ended up getting it to work out pretty well, even with them coming over to help. They actually stole the kill for me, but don't worry, I do the same thing and I eventually get Princess. I made it a little bit easier for the hardcore character, so thanks. No problem. And there we go. There's my princess kill. Get the brass collar and finish up with the young forest bears that we gotta kill. I think we need about 4. And that's level 10. So we're gonna get our first talent point. So with our first talent point, we're going to go with Elemental Precision, which basically reduces the opponent's chance to resist our frost or fire spells by 2%. So I'm not sure if I'm going to go with an AoE grinding build or just a standard frost. I think I'll see how I feel, see how busy the zones are and how farmed the farming spots are, because I wouldn't mind doing some grinding mixed with some questing, but I know that they have added extra quests in Turtle WoW, so you might not have the same problem that you do in Classic where you run into level brackets where you can eventually run out of quests between zones if you're not questing with 100% efficiency. So we've made it back to Stormwind, and we're going to pick up our first wand from the auction house. It cost me about 7 silver, but it's going to give me a huge advantage when it comes to questing. So instead of when mobs get into my melee range of bashing them with my staff very ineffectively, I can instead use my wand, which is going to increase my DPS by a large amount, which is going to make questing much, much easier. So we're going to go pick up our first mage class quest, which involves us getting water from the waterfall right next to Stormwind. And it's going to let us get a nice green staff, which is going to be a nice weapon upgrade. So the nice thing while getting the water for this quest, we got some Defias here. So we can use them in order to get the mats we need for our quest, the red linen bandanas. So while we pick up our water from the Mirror Lake, we're going to also get our red linen bandana quest done and out of the way. So that's our mage class quest done, and the lay staff. Thank you very much. I think that's our first green item, so nice. So we're going to hand in our red linen bandana quest as well as the cloth and leather armor and get some nice upgrades to our mage armor and mage aesthetic. Looking very spiffy in those well-stitched robes. Nice. Coming along very good. So we got a wand, new set of robes. Let's finish off this last couple quests and hit level 12. So after a very uneventful hogger kill where I joined a group, we are going to hand in our bounty on Knowles, and then we are going to hit level 12. Persian's pants, and ding. So, thanks guys. That is our second video of the Journey series complete. So we're going to heart to the inn, hand in our hogger quests, get some spells, and we will be here next time for journey number 3, where we hopefully get to level 15. So, see you next time, everybody.